Hi everyone. Here's just a quick video for the sequence for Easter. It looks like this. It's the chant for Easter. And I want to just do a quick practice video here in case you are struggling with this and you want a little bit of extra help. So the first thing I'm going to do is play through the whole thing. But I'd like you to notice something, which is notice all of the D notes. So it starts on a D. And you can tell because there are the 5 lines of the staff, and the D is the note right below the staff. So if you look at the very first note on Christians, of Christians, that's a D note. So as I play through, I want you to notice all of the D notes, because they're all going to sound the same. All right? In fact, even on the piano, I'm going to be playing, I'm just going to hold the low D the whole time. So it'll sound like this. And did you notice that first phrase starts on a D, but it also ends on a D as well. And that can help keep us in the same key the whole time, which is key for chants like this. So here we go. I'm going to play through the whole thing. Here we go. All right, so that'll be step 1 right there, is to listen and practice with that recording. Now, as you get better at this, what you could do is go onto YouTube and find a D drone, which is just the D tone being played straight. You know, there'll probably be a drone that has a half hour of the note D. And you can put that on, and it helps keep you in the same key because you can constantly check where those D notes are, right? The note right below the staff, you can check that against the drone. Now, if you want to go one step further, get a drone that has a D and an A in it, like this. A D note and an A note. Now, on the staff, the A, when you see the 5 lines, the A is right here in the second space. So if you look at, let's say, the second line, a lamb the sheep redeems, starts on an A and ends on an A. A lamb the sheep redeems. You're going to hear that D in the drone the whole time. So you could get a D and an A drone, probably in the same video, hopefully in the same video, and just keep it on as you practice. And see how it lines up. All right, so let's try adding some text to this. And as we go through, I'm just going to talk you through some of the tricky parts and the way that I think about it, because I sing this one as well. All right, so here we go. I'm going to put the drone on my left hand and sing along. Christians to the Paschal victims. You want to hear the next note before you sing it. Thumbs in the top of the drone. Offer your thankful praises. Same thing. Dum. A lamb the sheep redeems. Christ who only is sinless. Now the next note is just a third higher. Reconcile sinners to the Father. That's a little bit jumpy, so you want to make it a little more melodic sounding. Reconcile sinners to the Father. Here we go. Let's go back to verse 3, I guess. Death and life. Death and life have contended in that combat stupendous. The Prince of Life who died reigns immortal. Now we go to the lower fifth. Dee, 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 dee. Speak Mary, declaring what you saw wayfaring. What's the next note going to be? A third higher. The tomb of Christ who is living, the glory of Jesus' resurrection. Lower fifth. Bright angels attesting, the shroud and napkin resting. Yes, Christ, my hope is arisen. To Galilee he goes before you. Right here, I like to go stronger. Okay, so I like this to be the climax. Christ indeed from death is risen, a new life obtaining. Have mercy, Victor King. Getting less here. Ever reigning. Amen. Alleluia. And then slowing off a little bit there. And then, of course, the gospel acclamation comes in right after that. So it's a really cool transition. All right, so now in terms of getting the right flow for this whole thing, what we just did was kind of notey, right? We did note, 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 note. So now you want to be able to tell the story with your voice. So what that means for me usually is speeding up just a little bit and then slowing off on the phrases, or crescendoing a little bit and then decrescendoing a little bit. So for example, on the first line, Christians to the Paschal victim. What I did there is I aimed for the note on Paschal victim, and you could even underline it on your page. Figure out what you're going to aim for. And I crescendo, and I also sped up a little bit to get to Paschal victim. Christians to the Paschal victim, offer your thanks and praises. Probably go to praises there. A lamb the sheep redeems, Christ who only is sinless. So you kind of aim for different words along the way as you go, and you make it flow. You can freely accelerate, freely decelerate. And then on the second page, again, like I said, I like to emphasize that verse 8. Christ indeed from death is risen, a new life obtaining. I like to really go for that because that's the central message here. All right, so let's try to do the whole thing, and we'll add some phrasing into it as well. Okay, so we'll just play through and sing through the whole thing. All right, here we go. One final tip. When you're practicing without the drone, you want to try to keep it in your ear just a little bit. Keep that going almost in your ear as you sing. And really feel at rest when you get to these D notes. You should feel you've settled. You have that sense of settling, right? That will keep you in the same key the whole time, because the challenge of something like this is that it's easy to fall into a different key. So by keeping that drone going in your mind or with a YouTube video, it's easier to stay in the same key. All right, here we go. Christians to the Paschal Victim, offer your thankful praises. A lamb the sheep redeems, Christ who only is sinless, reconcile sinners to the Father. Death and life have contended in that combat stupendous. The Prince of Life who died reigns immortal. Speak, Mary, declaring what you saw wayfaring, the tomb of Christ who is living, the glory of Jesus' resurrection. Bright angels attesting, the shroud and napkin resting. Yes, Christ, my hope is arisen. To Galilee he goes before you. Christ indeed from death is risen, a new life obtaining. Have mercy, Victor King, ever reigning. Amen. Alleluia. All right, so I hope that was helpful. One more thing is that there are a couple clues here in the chant text itself, or the way that it's set to music. If you notice, there are some half notes, which are the notes with the holes in them. Those are going to be a little bit longer, all right? So like, Christ indeed from death is risen. Half notes are a little longer. Then on the top line of the second page, Speak, Mary, declaring. There's a little tenuto mark above the note on declaring, on the ing. So you kind of aim there and make it a little bit longer. Speak, Mary, declaring. You kind of aim for that and make it a little bit emphasized. All right, I hope that was helpful. If it was, consider making a donation, small donation, to Music Ministry 101. I'm not going to let the advertisements or whatever go onto this video, so I'll just leave a link in the description below. If you find these tutorial videos to be helpful, consider making a small donation, and thank you so much. I hope you have a great Easter this year. All right, take care.